heads of the syllables, cut, bent, and creased, tails of the hummingbird, chemiluminescent, like a glow stick trail, head of my body, short, tales like this are told and heed, not the warning, but a head with one eye. Cyclopsy was used by a poet for his strength and size, tail like folk, heads of the politicians who leave us hungry. Those who have flipped the metal will know a head apart from its neck or a tail on a human body modification, head of the syringe disinfected. Why leave it to chance, like a lion laced with a ribbon secure on a head? Hell, poetry is not luck. As if some people are born with it, a head for it, and others are born into serpent tails of Ouroboros. Money, do not trust my head or my breath, kiss my
It's a haunting, it's a dark and stinking car. It's my underwear is stapled to the wall. Yes, this is a transactional encounter. It's transaction of the ampersand. My trash can is an archive, which remembers every transaction. Brown bags mean exchange, except when I'm displeased, they mean return. A sweatshirt is responsible attire for the winter, and a metaphor for I belong to you. To transaction is a bad behavior. Every filth is resurrected. Archive is haunting, such as corkboard. With my shriveled briefs affixed in the restaurant, I fill my water glass by swiveling behind me. That is a very healthy, says a woman reading. What I mean by healthy is convenient. This sounds like a metaphor, but all transactions in this poem happen. I am striving to be literal. My body is a stretched material. Metaphors leave room for ghosts.
Love said you going with a fat gold watch. The midwife slapped your footsoles and your bard's cry took its place among the elements. Our voices echoed, magnifying your arrival. New statue in a drafty museum, your nakedness. Shadows our safety, we stand around blankly as walls. I'm no more your mother than the cloud that distills a mirror to reflect its own slow effacement at the wind's hand. All night your moth breath flickers among the flat pink roses. I wait to listen. A Pharisee moves in my ear. One cry and I stumble from bed. Cow heavy and floral in my Victorian nightgown. Your mouth opens, clean as a cat's. The window square lightens and swallows its dull stars. And now you try your handful of notes. The clear vowels rise like balloons.
As Parmigianino did it, the right hand, bigger than the head, thrust at the viewer, and swerving easily away, as though to protect what it advertises, a few leaded panes, old beams, fur, pleated muslin, a coral ring run together, in a movement supporting the face, which swims, toward and away like the hand, except that it is in response. It is what is sequestered. Vasari says Francesco one day set himself to take his own portrait, looking at himself for that purpose in a convex mirror, such as is used by barbers. He accordingly caused a ball of wood to be made by a turner, and having divided it in half and brought it to the size of the mirror, he set himself with great art to copy all that he saw in the glass, chiefly his
You up? You think food would taste different if you ate it underwater? How long you think magic hour lasts on the planet of Neptune? What do you think cellulite would look like on fish? Can you believe olives are a fruit? You ever notice is okay, yes, the sound of the universe, but also the sound literally every kid makes when speaking into a fan. You up? You ever think about how English maybe isn't our first language? The way I'm sitting right now is my first language. The way I become movement inside your hands is my first language. You up? Did your mom ever make you talk to shit? My mom imbued life into every corner and crumb of my small world. And now, as an adult woman, my heart breaks every time I feel I find an empty
My body holds its shape. The genius is intact. Will I return to Thebes? In that lost country, the eucalyptus trees have turned to stone. Once, branches nudged me, dropping swollen blossoms, and passion flowers lit my father's garden. It's still there, that place of mottled shadow, the scarlet flowers breathing in the darkness. I remember how I died. It was so simple. One morning, my garden faded. My face blacked out. On my left side, they made the first incision. They washed my heart and liver in palm wine. My lungs were too dark fruit they stuffed with spices. They smeared my innards with a sticky unguent and sealed them in a crock of alabaster. My brain was next, a pointed instrument. Hooked it through my nostrils strand by strand. A voice swayed over me.
Certainty and self-realization after failing, and I do not trust this assembly. What is quality? Assembly relies upon a profitable enterprise, relies upon a striver, upon a portrait of novel and vast upheavals world where to pour historic concentrations of commerce, concentrations of themselves that they believe, advanced knowledge, incorrect knowledge, not true knowledge, and they want to ignore skill immense, wealth the launching pad where wealth approaching billions began, surplus supply chains intelligence, modification the professors, the rush of life many boasted enable one, another affair or travel fresh, departments tuning, herding, conditioning, indiscernible as they teach, political philosophy from Western canon become.
We owe energy, we owe the whole landscape, we owe record-breaking heat, we owe rent, we owe tongue, we owe sweating, seeping a leaky pipe without patch. From our glands we owe hazy metaphors of wind, we owe faded flannels and jeans, we owe inscape, we owe women, we owe butter statues built into cows, we owe sonnets with eroticism, we owe fragments. To collect them, we owe fugue. We owe missing persons. We owe it. We owe illness. We owe one-room apartments. We owe rodent infestation. We owe gravity. We owe language. We owe carbon dioxide with a side of sulfuric breeze. We owe 40 hours a week. We owe billionaires. We owe incubation. We owe the church. We owe uneven pavement.
Women who lie alone at midnight because there is no one else to lie to. Women who lie alone at midnight, at noon in the laundromat, destroying their own socks. Women who lie alone at midnight. Hans Brinker or the Silver Skates. Women who lie alone at midnight as the first furl of starlight pearls the moon with nacre. Women who lie alone at midnight, sending a postcard bearing the face of a bawling infant who cries, I am for the new. Women who lie alone at midnight, reciting the names of shoes. Women who lie alone at midnight, spurting unjustified tears, the kind that runs sideways, never reaching the mouth, the kind you cannot swallow. Women who lie alone at midnight, obeying the
Phaedipides rise, a new cadence. The void is not something created. Male elites dreading the void, a void coming to and entering it. 2,500-year-old man. If the heart explodes, then tear, tug, wail, roar, cry. I. Writing motion as feminist space. A lot of people do not care. I might not either. Refusing the syntactic, mythic, and thematic models. Verse that grants itself agency. Any long drawn out activity is called a marathon colloquially. It is eerie to know yourself. For instance, to watch your protein synthesize in a way greater than its breakdown. Did Phaedipides die with grace? Is the question I ask, but history.
We do not speak like Petrarch or wear a hat like Spencer, and it is not 14 lines like furrows in a small plowed field, but the picture postcard, a poem on vacation that forces us to sing our songs in little rooms, to pour our sentiments into measuring cups. We write on the back of a waterfall or lake, adding to the view a caption as conventional as an Elizabethan woman's heliocentric eyes. We locate an adjective for the weather. We announce that we are having a wonderful time. We express the wish that you were here and hide the wish that we were where you are. Walking back from the mailbox, your head lowered as you read the thin message in your hands. A slice of this place, a length of white beach, a piazza or carved spires of a cathedral will pierce.
Rejoice, my essayistic thrust. Rejoice, synecdoche of image. Rejoice, the tree is dead. Rejoice, propaganda doffed of adjectives. Rejoice, pathos verse proficiency. Rejoice, sans serif peak. Rejoice, I am a scholar. Rejoice, you are watching Andy Warhol. I am sleeping. Rejoice, bourgeois plumage. Rejoice, the christening, sublunary, flagellations. Rejoice, subtext. Rejoice, few things are as jagged as the elbow. Rejoice, populist allegories. Rejoice, I am going to continue. Rejoice, mother, father, brother, I assumed I had eluded you. Rejoice.
Her body is not so white as anemone petals, nor so smooth, not so remote a thing. It is a field of the wild carrot taking the field by force. The grass does not raise above it. Here is no question of whiteness, white as can be, with a purple mole at the center of each flower. Each flower is a hand span of her whiteness. Wherever his hand has lain, there is a tiny purple blemish. Each part is a blossom under his touch, to which the fibers of her being stem one by one, each to its end, until the whole field is a white desire, empty, a single stem, a cluster, flower by flower, a pious wish to whiteness gone over, or nothing.
The beginning of which the body dislocates like a dandelion blown from its stem. Me, I become anxious about the eye, where it goes, what it can see, to lose something or everything you never wanted in the first place, to live, food to eat, time to spend with people who love, love, I wait for the money, but it is a myth, like a dropped penny that can kill. Trust me, you do not want to be on the other end of people throwing change at you who say they would rather be poor than rich, who say they know because they were you once, but they are not you now. And once you get the money, when the head has been removed for weeks, for years,
structural degradation, material.
Noun, slanted, like a table, like a hole, like the synchronicities of name, pronoun, slight, no, never I, the path of a known, you, verb, get, come, cut open like I, listen to the word and then repeat it, adverb, shove it down, my throat, silent, lee, badly, really, preposition, about or, above a language, event, I left my eyes on the table for you. What did you hear? Adjective, strange, piss, yellow snow, sex, Euler, America, interjection, oh, stop here, ouch, wow, watch out, there is no moral, imperative to die, the way the rich make.
Truth, I am wearing a dress. Dare, set a woman loose, and she loses her syntax. Truth, a woman goes in for the kill. Dare, a woman is the kill. Truth, you can laugh. Dare, I blush red, a clown. Dare, tell me an ugly story. Truth, a story where I swallow spit the ocean. Truth, I am silent. Little listen not to be sustained, no wave. Truth, I play along. Dare, what can you do about it? Truth, it is my house, and I will die in it. Dare, I am a confessional, wafer thin, fever full like a body, charging to catch up with its soul. Dare, name your price. Dare, I could be a floral motif. Truth, I could look like the love of your life. Truth, I will pay for this. Dare, I lick the batter off a wooden spoon. Dare, are you
Eating food from McDonald's is mathematically impossible because before you can eat it, you have to order it. And before you can order it, you have to decide what you want. And before you can decide what you want, you have to read the menu. And before you can read the menu, you have to be in front of the menu. And before you can be in front of the menu, you have to wait in line. And before you can wait in line, you have to drive to the restaurant. And before you can drive to the restaurant, you have to get in your car. And before you can get in your car, you have to put clothes on. And before you can put clothes on, you have to get out of bed. And before you can get out of bed, you have to stop being so depressed. And before you can stop being so depressed, you have to understand what depression is. And before you can understand what depression is, you have to think clearly. And before you can think clearly, you have to turn off. The temperature of the human body can heat up significantly centigrade, moving vertical. Matches could never achieve this type of lit up vapors and gases that spill like sustained lies into the air. She spun and translated how her fingers touch, how her ribs prod at my skin, how her tongue makes phonetics, my eyes dizzy. Let me pick which lie to keep up with today. Watch the hipster salon put different colors in your expensive hair as a farm share delivers your organic broccoli for you to cut into bits for you. A boy is carrying a golden goose filled coat. How sick Americans make me, and I am one stealing shoes if I want my feet to be covered. Cans from the food pantry I offer to my friends. We feast together as a royal.
clicks by the foregrounding qualities? What would my voice be like without my throat that lead to materiality like the wail plosive of a baby that never comes out? What would my mouth be like without my tongue, affricate of the womb of a woman that builds? What would my fricative with hands not mouth the wood? What would my lips be like for the casket, the physical distance
of the body to the ground in a nasal fall into love you. What would my cheeks be like without my mucous membrane approximate? And I are very loud when we choke each other, the unique position, trill the urge to not breathe, or what would my nasal cavity be like without my nose? Speak when the words themselves matter less than the matter of their coming, like the way heterosexuals plain describe themselves as a top.
You see, they have no judgment, so it is natural that they should drown, first the ice taking them in, and then, all winter, their wool scarves floating behind them as they sink, until at last they are quiet, and the pond lifts them in its manifold dark arms. But that death must come to them differently, so close to the beginning, as though they had always been, blind and weightless, therefore, the rest is dream, the lamp, the good white cloth that covered the table, their bodies, and yet they hear the names they used, like lures slipping over the pond. What are you waiting for? Come home, lost, in the waters blue and permanent.